Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope that you had the best week that you could and that you're staying cool wherever you are. Um, Today is Friday. If you haven't ever joined us for a Facebook Friday Live before, I take about 10 minutes to talk about something that I know a lot of parents want help with or want to talk about. Because I know your life is busy and 10 minutes is about all that we can um, listen to at a time. So let me know if you are listening live or if you're listening to the replay, and please let me know if there's anything that resonates with you or that you want to know more about. It is also helpful if you share this video out to people who you know would enjoy this content. So today I want to talk about something that I hear a lot from parents, especially after this weird 1.5 years of COVID schooling, virtual schooling, hybrid schooling. Maybe your child even spent some time not being in school at all. And I know a lot of parents are now worried about whether their child is on track for the next school year. So if you're concerned about your child being behind academically, this is the video for you. So let's talk about what to do if your child might be behind or you're concerned about your child being behind. I have 5 things to talk about. I'm going to try to do those quickly. And I'm also going to highlight those things below in the comments so that if you want to come back and review this later, you can do so. Or you can save it so that you can think about it later. So number 1, if you're concerned about your child being behind, the first place you should go is the I can statements. So each state has their own standards. A lot of states have adopted the Common Core standards. Other states may have their own standards, but often they reflect the Common Core. I haven't seen a state standards that deviate too much from the Common Core. Kids are generally learning the same concepts each school year around the country. When those are covered and exactly how is a little bit different, but visit the I can statements. I'm going to put a link below. These are kind of a simplified version of the state standards. So they're broken down, and basically it's a series of statements that say, I can blank, and your child should be able, or you should be able to answer yes for your child, or your child should be able to answer yes for themselves for the statements from the previous school year, meaning that they're ready for the next school year. Your child may have a few that they can't say yes to, and that's normal. Not every kid is going to master every single standard from the year before. But if your child is saying no to a lot of those standards for a certain subject that you're concerned about, then that might be a sign that they have some gaps and that they need to kind of do some remedial work, do some catching up to be ready for the next grade. That being said, this next school year, your child's school will probably be aware that not all kids are going to be starting at the same place. A really great school is going to take that into consideration and be prepared to kind of help kids fill in those gaps from the past school year before moving on. But if you're concerned, those I can statements are a really great place to look and to get clear on what your child might need to work on over the summer if you're wanting to do some summer work. Next, once you find out who your child's teacher is going to be for the next school year, I know that like in upper elementary and then middle school, there may be multiple teachers, but if you're concerned about a certain subject, reach out to your child's teacher with your concerns early on. So kind of just open up that dialogue, say, here are the things I'm concerned about. I'm interested to see what you think once they get into your classroom. And we're willing to work with you to make sure that my child is, filling in those gaps or whatever. opening up this line of communication early and continuing that line of communication will be helpful if you decide your child needs to be evaluated for learning differences, for things like ADHD or dyslexia or a multitude of other things. And starting that communication early may mean that you might be able to get your child into those assessments and into those accommodations as far as IEPs and 504s earlier. It may also alert your child's teacher to the fact that your child might need intervention in the form of, a lot of states do response to intervention, tiered systems of helping kids, etc. 3, if you have time and energy and the desire, you can find ways to work on the skills your child is struggling with over the summer. We talk about a lot of different ways to do this in our social media. So if you are looking for ideas on how to work on reading, math, writing, look through our archives, or you can contact me and I can send along some things that we've, blogs that we've written, social media posts that might be helpful to you, places to look for resources and things like that to work on those things with your child over the summer. I will say, you may want to structure this in a way that you know that your child will be receptive to it, or moderately receptive to it, because you don't want to just like start lots and lots of fights over the summer and then you're starting the school year off, you know, with your child already in a bad place when it comes to academics. Number 4, enlist the help of a teacher or tutor or outside help of some kind. So if you're concerned about your child's academics and you're wanting to kind of fill some of those gaps over the summer, a great way to do that without getting in fights with your child, and also with getting the most bang for your buck and bang for your time, is to enlist the help of a tutor like the tutors we have at Hoffman Tutoring Group. Having someone who specializes in helping kids in that certain area is going to ensure that your child is getting personalized lessons that really meet those needs and can help them fill those gaps sooner than they might have been able to on their own. Number 5, so back to communicating with your child's school. If you're really concerned about your child being behind and you think there might be something more going on there, maybe there is a learning difference, or maybe something is going on with them neurologically or emotionally, go ahead and figure out what you need to do to maybe request an assessment from your child's school, and have that in mind as you're going into next school year. You also can get your child assessed privately, but you want to kind of get in contact with the school or get in contact with an education advocate, linking my favorite one below here, so that you know exactly what you need to do and what the school accepts as far as assessments are concerned, what they want as proof that your child needs an assessment going into the school year, so you can kind of out of the gate have that in mind, know what you need to do, so that you're not halfway through the school year and just now deciding to get an assessment. So those are the 5 things I suggest if you think your child is behind. You know, and this is going to differ on the degree of how behind you feel like your child is. Some kids are just going to need a little bit of extra practice. Some kids are going to need a little bit more. If you're concerned and you're kind of wondering where to start off, and you need some resources or someone to talk to, again, reach out. If you DM us or send us an email, you will be getting directly to me, and I can kind of connect with you, get on the phone with you, whatever you need to get some extra resources. Let me know if there's something you feel like I forgot, or if there's something that resonated with you. Again, I hope you're having a great week, or the best week that you can. I hope you have the best weekend that you can. And I will be back here next Friday.